Maybe. It's thinking about it. It's taking an awful long time today. Uh, there we go. Okay. That only took like 40 seconds. Cool. But we made it.
It's a good omen.
Yeah. Welcome to Talking Heads, everyone. Episode 432, I think. We'll go with 432. Your once-week live show for the latest in beer and tech news. I'm Jeff.
I'm Rett.
Welcome to the show, everyone. Thank you all so much for joining on this Wednesday night or in podcast form over on Spotify or wherever your favorite podcasts are found. If you've never seen the show before, we talk beer, we talk tech, we talk home lab, tech. Eventually I should rewrite the 4 things that we talk about on here so I remember them every week instead of just trying to freeball it every time. Today's episode is brought to you by Twingate. More on them in just a little bit. If you like the content we do on this channel, want to help support us in what we do, consider joining the Patreon. Link is down in the video description, and that will give you the esteemed honor of joining our Discord server. It is an exclusive buy-in Discord server, but the advantage of that is it keeps the trolls at bay. And you get to hang out with myself, Rett, all the other hosts from Talking Heads, and join the awesome community that hangs out over there.
Boom.
Boom. Oh, welcome to the show. I hope my voice survives long enough to make it 2 hours.
Seriously?
I know immediately people are going like, that doesn't sound quite like Jeff. No, it does not.
Well, hang in there, sport.
Yeah. Today I was planning on drinking. I have 1 can of it left, and it just sounded right. And that is the Revolution Brewing Rye Way to Heaven. That sounded amazing. But then I'm like, you know what? I need a warm drink. And so instead, I'm going to an old standby. This is a Morgan, I forget the brand, but it's the apple cider instant packets, the yellow packets that you buy at Costco.
Right.
You get 1 packet of that. You add 8 ounces of hot water, 150 to 160 degrees. Don't go above that because we're going to add booze and we don't want to evaporate the booze away. 8 ounces of hot water, 2 ounces of a whiskey, and for the love of God, do not do an expensive whiskey. Just grab your Seagram 7 or your Benchmark or whatever off the shelf. A $10 bottle will do you just fine here. Drop in a cinnamon stick, which I have a nice beefy cinnamon stick here. And then, this is the secret, a dollop of butter on top.
Wow.
That turns it from like, okay, it's apple and a little bit of bourbon to like, this tastes like a buttery, crispy apple pie.
Nice.
It transforms it into and it doesn't take much butter. Like, literally just like half as much butter as you would use to spread on half a piece of toast. That's all you need. Just float it on top, let it kind of, dissolve and melt a little bit. It is so freaking good.
I like it.
And
sounds
fantastic when you can't talk. So
good choice.
Yes.
Well, my voice is fine. So I'm just gonna drink a beer. Another Beagle Eagle from Fort George.
Nice.
Which I've had on the show before. So
excellent choice to you as well.
Yeah.
What's funny is I attended an event yesterday, but that's not why my voice is sore. Like, I woke up this morning and my voice was fine. Like, I in fact even did a little recording this afternoon. It was just like 2 o'clock maybe. So like 3 or 4 hours ago, I started feeling like, ooh, my throat's feeling a little tight. And then my voice has just been fading ever since. And so I grabbed, I've been sucking on cough drops all afternoon and like not talking and trying to save it. I don't know if it's going to work. So we'll see how far we get into this.
Yeah, guess we'll have to.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if I have to run away with the show and just talk about Morrowind, happy to help. I think there's some people in chat who haven't heard of Morrowind yet. And so I'm here to I'm here to preach.
Well, if you want to get started early, what you could do is leave the live show right now, go watch Rett's 40-minute mini doc on the Craft Extra channel of Morrowind and how to play it on a modern system and why modders have kept this RPG alive for the last 25 years. Or, you just hang out here. Anyway.
I guess I'll be frozen. And what the hell?
Yeah, it did this right as you signed in as well. I don't know what's going on with you right now.
I don't know. They heard me talking about Morrowind.
Yeah. You can't move and I can't talk. Yeah. What a pair we make on a podcast.
Well, whatever, I guess.
Yeah, we'll see how this goes. Anyway, last night or yesterday, you and I were talking for a little bit in the afternoon, and I went to an event last night, and I kind of wanted to talk about that because this is not tech related at all. This is just something fun.
Fun related.
Yes. I went to the second ever Portland Fire WNBA game last night.
Woohoo!
And holy crap, what a freaking experience that was. I've been to so many Blazer games and Duck games and, U of O and things like that around. I've been to a lot of sporting events. This was a good event. It was so well done. I guess on Friday, the season opener for the Portland Fire, they set the WNBA record for the largest attendance for an opening WNBA game.
Nice.
19,400 people.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, sold out Moda Center. It was freaking great. I didn't get to go to that game, but I did have tickets to last night's game, which was against the New York Liberty, which I was hoping we would get a little bit of that Oregon connection coming in with the New York Liberty because Sabrina Ionescu and Saiti is that her name? Yeah, there's two players from the 2020 Oregon women's basketball team that are on the New York Liberty starting for them. They were both out. And so that sucked, but it still ended up being a freaking awesome game. And we won on a buzzer beater. And that place went nuts. I've been to Blazer I've been to Blazer playoff games, and dare I say the atmosphere was about on par with the Blazers Western Conference final run a couple of years ago. Dare I say it was on par with Oregon USC at Autzen Stadium. The vibe was so good.
Nice.
So that is all to say, check out a local WNBA team if you haven't yet. Go check them out. I know Portland's just getting into this. I was really excited for them to come to town. Tickets are not that expensive. I was looking up some future games now, and there's tickets out there for $12 if you want 300 level seats. There's $50-$60 gets you lower 200 level, and you'll have a great time. So look it up. Go support the WNBA because that was a heck of a good time.
I'm going not next week, but the week after.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you have tickets at the end of the month.
Yeah. Stoked.
Nice.
Super stoked. We actually had looked at getting season tickets for the Fire, but as I say all the time on the show, we're season ticket holders for the Portland Thorns, and it kind of was just we were juggling, do we do both or do we sacrifice the Thorns? We decided to stick it out because we got fantastic front row seats at the Thorns, and so we'll see. Maybe next season we'll get in on the Fire, but we're looking forward to just going to a few games and having fun too.
Yeah.
So
I'm looking at doing one game a month, and kind of see how that feels and see how it goes. I don't have all the time in the world, but man, I love
especially when it's so affordable too. It's
yeah,
why not?
Yeah. We went up to a little pizza place that's down in the Pearl. Had great pizza, and and a pint before the game. We drove on over. The most expensive part of our night was parking, and we could have done a lot better had we not parked in the stadium lot. So, but I wanted to just walk right in. So
nice.
I paid the $30.
I was in Portland last night too, not for a Fire game, but I went to a concert at the Crystal Ballroom.
Oh, nice.
And saw this weird, I say weird, they were not weird. No other way to describe them other than like maybe like kind of pseudo 80s like vapor nostalgia core, you know? It's like they really lean into that like 80s aesthetic.
Yeah.
And at one point, they kind of started.
Are they piano keytie 80s aesthetic, or are they Phil Collins Genesis 80s aesthetic? Like, there's two distinctly different 80s aesthetics.
Yeah, you're right. At one point, they brought out a keytar, and like,
okay, well that answers that question.
They were shredding on a keytar, and then probably the highlight of the show was anyway. The band was called The Midnight. If anybody wants to look into them. What you hear online of them is not what they sounded like live at all, because they had a full band. But anyway, the highlight of the show was their sax player. Mm-hmm. And I kid you not, the sax player had the same exact kind of like intro every time he would play. He would just come in and like hold a note and then start shredding, you know? But it was always like, here I am, I'm a sax. And the highlight was he walked into the crowd, and at the Crystal Ballroom, he walked up onto the balcony, and he was like leaning over the edge while shredding. And I don't know why people loved it so much, but I'd never been there while people were like that fired up about something.
Nice.
And it was pretty funny and like charming, and we had a good time. So
yeah.
But yeah, anyway, The Midnight.
I'll have to look them up. That sounds fun.
Yeah, it was really fun. Like at one point, like I was kind of having a good laugh because they almost sounded kind of like a glammy, poppy country band, but then they got like dirty 80s synth in the background, you know?
Nice. Yes.
So it was kind of a weird mix of stuff. Like the music online is like completely inoffensive. It's like very synth oriented, very like vaporwave sounding kind of,
yeah.
Listen to the 80s and chill kind of thing. And in person, they had a full band. I mean, 2 guitars, a bass, 2 synthesizer players that kind of went back and forth. Like one was the sax. He also pulled out his his Yamaha like WX5 or whatever those things are. Yeah. I was gonna try to take a picture and send it to you, but yeah, exactly. But he didn't play the licks, so he didn't play the lick.
Oh, that's disappointing.
Yeah, I was bummed. But you know what are you gonna do?
Yeah. Yeah, old Poi, longtime Discord member, says MIDI sax. Yeah, I have a WX5. I've got 2 different MIDI saxophones here in the office, and they're fun to dink around on every once in a while.
Yeah.
Anyway, go check out the WNBA. Go check out, smaller concerts, smaller groups you might not have heard of. There's gold out there. Go have some fun.
Yeah. I bought a cassette tape at their merch desk.
All right, I was not ready for that sentence.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway. God. Hopefully I make it to the sponsor segment. Jeez. Okay. Well, we do have some news to get to today. Intel might be making chips for Apple again. Wow. Not those chips, different chips.
Potato chips.
Potato chip. Yeah, right, exactly. Yeah. So this report has been repeated by multiple news agencies from multiple sources at this point, and so I think there's probably some actual details and actual things that are going to come out of this story. They have reportedly reached a preliminary chip-making deal, likely for Intel's 18A, although the exact details of what chips and where and what fab and what process node and things like that are completely absent from this deal. And Rett, I have no idea why you are stretched on this
I
screen.
know.
Let me figure that out. Really,
that. I wasn't gonna say anything.
I do not know what's going on there. Hold on.
Okay. Too zoomed.
No, I think. Hold on. Okay, this is gonna get weird for a second, because I'm going to I figured out why when I would turn this on, it would do weird things with the sizing. And so I fixed that this week. That was one of my main things. Also, longtime viewers of the channel might notice when we flipped over to Firefox or to the internet screen here, I didn't have to go into my settings and turn it on. I already did that. So, yeah, we were trying to be a professional show tonight, and then Rhett's camera decided to make him short and wide.
Well, what can I say? That's basically my nickname.
So we're going to reset the transform. What in the... No, don't do that. Gosh. All right, we're going to do something like that. We're going to move you over there. Maybe. Hold on. Almost there. There he goes. Okay. Close enough. You're gorgeous. Okay. Intel, Apple have reached a preliminary chip-making deal. There are no details about this yet. However, Intel stock price did raise 15% on news of this at closing on May 8th, just a couple of days ago. I would love to speculate. I would love to know some details. I'm sure those will be coming out likely at WWDC, the Worldwide Developer Conference for Apple. Hopefully we'll get some details on that. That is usually... Have they announced that date yet? WWDC 2020. I think they announced that date. Yeah, June 8th. Okay. Hopefully June 8th we'll get some more details about new chips that are being produced. If they're this year or if they're next year, who knows? We don't know if they're laptop chips. We don't know if they're desktop chips. We don't know if they're iPhone chips. We don't know what exactly they'll be producing. We don't need... I kind of want... Look, the Trump administration is trying to take full credit for this. Of like, yeah, we introduced Apple to Intel. Like,
yeah, we never knew each other before.
We brought them so much business. They should be thanking us. Did they even say thank you? I want Apple to like have Intel make them like Wi-Fi chips or something really stupid. Something that Intel gave up on years ago. Like, oh yeah, no, they're going to spin up a NAND controller for us. Like, I want it to be the stupidest thing possible. Not because I don't believe in U.S. manufacturing, but because I don't want the Trump administration getting a modicum of credit for anything that comes out of this. Because if this... The only reason this deal is happening is because it makes sense for both companies. It has nothing to do with, oh, we want to make domestic. No, Apple's going to use whoever makes the best chips. And for years, that's been TSMC. And so the fact that Intel, or that Apple is now hooking their bandwagon in some way, shape, or form over to Intel, either with their 18A or their upcoming 14A process, that is a vote of confidence unlike any other. That Intel has it going on. And, you know, we kind of talked about that, what was it, 6 months ago, with the release of Clearwater Forest and chips like that. I'm really impressed with what Intel has done, the turnaround that they've done, the manufacturing capability they now have. But let's be clear, Apple is choosing Intel because they're probably the best fab for what they need right now. Not because, oh, we want to make domestic. That has nothing to do with it.
Go figure.
Yeah. Apple CEO Tim Cook said on the company's most recent earnings call that iPhone sales were held back by supply constraints at its current manufacturer. That could be any number of things. The other thing to keep in mind is whether or not the U.S. tries to start instituting tariffs again, because they keep threatening that, even though it was ruled completely unconstitutional and completely against the powers of the executive branch. And I'm still waiting on my $17,000 check that will never come for reimbursements for my manufacturing that I had to send overseas. Not that I'm bitter, not that I'm angry. But there's advantages to everything.
Yeah.
But this is kind of exciting. And like I said, a definite vote of confidence for Intel's manufacturing capabilities, so long as Apple is actually relying on them for something of consequence. But no comments as of yet, and I don't think we're going to hear anything at least until WWDC, if not until December, about what chips are being built. Because likely anything that's being announced in June for delivery in July through September is already taped out and in manufacturing right now. And the agreement was very clear. This is a preliminary agreement to make chips. So this is not like, yeah, we'll start tomorrow. No, it's like in 6 months to a year, we'll talk about the chips that you need made and get a plan in place for allocations. So we're not going to see Intel-based Apple chips on the market this year. I think that's a pretty safe bet. Let's see. Aren't cassettes more expensive than CDs? Yes. Yes, they are.
I think that when you're looking at like printing your own or getting your own stock or whatever, they're definitely like pretty expensive. Like probably over 5 times the cost. But for whatever reason, like when I've been buying them from the people I've been buying them from, they're always actually pretty affordable compared to the CD.
Yeah.
And like last night at the concert, it was like $2 cheaper for a cassette than it was for a CD. And I don't know why that is. Like maybe they just were at the end of their stock and trying to get rid of them or something, you know? But
could be something like that. CDs themselves are pretty inexpensive, but production quality CDs and getting, manufacturing time to be able to press your discs, that is still a fairly expensive process. It's not, gone are the days of some dude sitting at their computer burning discs by hand and then selling them at their concerts. Like that just doesn't happen anymore. But yeah, you'll have to let me know how the cassette is, because I'm kind of curious.
I've already listened to it. It's pretty good.
Nice.
Yeah, it's and actually like too, the production quality on it is kind of nice. It's got like a nice. I wish I would have brought it down with me. I'd just show you. But it's got like a nice kind of like purple translucent, casing.
Yeah.
I don't know whatever you call the cassette itself. Is very nice looking. And then the clam or the shell and like the J anyway, the freaking cover, the
insert,
the artwork, the insert, yeah. Jesus, words. They're really nice. They look really nice. It looks really cool. So
good.
And in fact, I had a bunch of cassettes that I'd gotten from this other artist. Whenever I would buy his music, he would always send me a cassette for free, and so I busted those out. And I was actually kind of like impressed by the sound quality of the one I bought at the concert last night compared to these other ones.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, like much like higher fidelity, less like of that kind of classic like tape distortion sound, that's kind of become synonymous with cassette tapes.
Yeah, the little warbles and
yeah. And the other artist, he's like more of like a dungeon synth guy, so maybe it's already kind of baked in a little bit, but it was definitely a little warblier. Whereas, dude, the cassette was like indistinguishable from like what, other than the shitty speakers I was listening on and stuff. It's like indistinguishable from like what I was streaming online, you know? So it sounded really good.
That's pretty impressive. I'm curious to know if that holds up. Like how many years into the future can you play that and get that same experience,
For sure. So. Yeah. Report back here for episode 864.
Yeah, we'll probably still be going then. Gosh. I don't want to disclose what age I'm going to be at that point. Holy crap. All right. Well, today's episode does have a sponsor, and it's a new sponsor. Today's episode of Talking Heads is brought to you by Twingate, the modern zero trust network built for everything from personal home labs to enterprise organizations. Whether you need secure remote access to your internal network or want to publish self-hosted services without exposing them directly to the internet, Twingate makes the process simple and secure. Instead of opening firewall ports for every application, or worse, and you shouldn't do this, leaving SSH or RDP exposed just to access a server remotely, Twingate provides secure, identity-based access to exactly the servers and services you choose while keeping everything else locked down. And it's not just for individuals. Twingate scales effortlessly to teams and organizations, with integrations for platforms like Okta and Google Workspace that let you provision and manage access on a per-user basis. Getting started is surprisingly simple. You can deploy the Twingate connector to access an individual device or machine, or use Twingate to securely connect entire networks and environments together. And in fact, that's how I use it here. Best of all, Twingate offers free plans for individuals as well as fully managed options for businesses of any size. You can try Twingate for free by using the link down in the video description below. And again, a huge thanks to Twingate for sponsoring today's episode.
Excellent. Thank you, Twingate.
Thank you, Twingate.
Appreciate it.
I'm going to have to buy a nice beer next week.
They're like, yeah, excuse me, we bought an ad on the beer drinking show. What were you doing?
This is not the production we signed up for. Sorry you're not getting my normal, silky, smooth, dulcimer tones. You're getting the cassette version of Jeff. Yeah. Did you, by any chance, Rett, see the Google announcement yesterday?
No, I'm still ruminating over the last Google news, which was about the AI installation on Google Chrome.
Oh yeah. No, this is basically that.
Yay!
Yeah. So Google held an event yesterday, and the highlight of the event feels about 14 years too late. And I'm gonna have some hot takes in this one. Dramatically out of touch with their customer base.
You don't say.
Yeah. If anyone's tired of the AI and everything, and by the way, I have been wanting to take a pickaxe to my monitor over the last couple of weeks because all of the new AI features that have been added into every single Google service. Google yesterday unveiled the Googlebook. One of the worst product names in the history of product names.
They're not even trying.
They're not even trying.
I bet you Gemini came up with it.
Probably did. Hey, Gemini, we're coming out with a new product. It is going to compete with Ultrabooks and MacBooks. We are Google, and we need a really clever, innovative, and attention-grabbing name for our new product. That's a great idea. I have the perfect name. How about Googlebook?
As one of the most recognizable names on the planet, Google offers your customers to know exactly what you're doing.
It's Google and a book in a Googlebook. Yeah. It felt like it went downhill from there, if I'm being honest.
This is where civilization fell. 50 years from now, when they're researching where it all went wrong, it'll be with the announcement of the Googlebook.
ChatGPT would definitely say that's an excellent idea.
Yeah, yeah.
Precisely.
The Terminator is going to go back not looking for John Connor, but for the person who prompted Gemini to come up with Googlebook.
Google unveils the Googlebook. The new AI laptop built around Gemini. Yeah. I don't even know where to start with this. The comment that I saw that made me laugh the most was Google looked. You have Microsoft right now that is cramming Copilot into every nook and cranny available inside of all of their predominant IPs. Let's jam it into Office. Let's jam it into Azure. Let's have 13 different instances of Copilot running on your Windows desktop. And Google saw what Microsoft was doing and saw the customer outrage and said, I want that for myself. And so here we have, what's funny is they didn't use the term agentic OS. They didn't say this is basically a computer that you buy that'll sit on your desk and do your computing for you, which that's been the AI MO for quite some time, is before too long, it'll understand the way you work and it will just do it for you, which is not how LLMs work. But they saw the outrage against Windows 11 and Copilot and Office 365 and the own outrage they're seeing within their own community around YouTube and Google and YouTube Studio and all these other things, and said, that sounds like an excellent marketing strategy. Let's make a device that has it baked into the core. The worst part of this presentation was, instead of using a cursor, Google Books have a magic pointer that users can wiggle to activate Gemini. Nice. That is a direct quote from the article right here. We're on macrumors.com for sourcing's sake. Instead of a cursor, Google Books have a magic pointer that users can wiggle to activate Gemini. So do you see my cursor right here? The idea was that at any point, I don't have to remove my hand from the trackpad. I can just give the mouse a little jiggle, and it will activate a full screen Gemini overlay in which you can select pieces of an image and then have AI guess what you want. About the 13th time that I activate that wiggle feature in the first 3 minutes of using it, I am going to eject that laptop out of the closest window. I can't imagine.
It's like getting the prompt for sticky keys when you're trying to play a game.
Right. I'm just trying to run right now.
Yeah.
Who among us has, you sit down at your computer and you go, where's my mouse? And the wiggle to make it bigger is now a feature on Linux and Mac OS now. And so I'll sit down on my desk, especially people with like multi-monitors, and the first thing you do is go, where's my cursor? Mm-hmm. The last thing that I want is a full screen Gemini coming over. The last thing that I want when I'm readjusting my wrist or, snapping my wrist to the side to like kind of loosen my joints or whatever else, is it activating Gemini. The last thing that I want is another screen recorder.
Yeah. Well, but what about your create my widget feature? Come on. You do want that.
There were a couple cool things out of the event. I like the customize a widget, tell Gemini in plain text what you want as a widget, and it will find out a way to seek that information and transport it into a user-readable and GUI-friendly version for you on any device that you want, whether it's a wearable, a phone, or your laptop. I did like that.
We'll see how good it is.
It feels like vibe coding in real life. It feels like vibe coding in production.
Totally, yeah.
But for simple, like, curl features, which is basically all that is. Curl features with a fancy UI around it. I'm okay with that. That seems like a really good use of that, if I'm being honest. There was one other thing that I really liked as well. Gosh, what? I was going to get to the widget feature.
The quick access. You like that?
No, didn't like that. Oh, the OS. This is Android based, but only kind of, and Chrome OS based, but only kind of. This is a new amalgam OS that they're calling aluminum or aluminium. As far as the developer name for it, the code name for this OS is Aluminium OS or Aluminum OS. It is taking features of both Chrome and Android and basically creating a new OS with it, but in a way that will run your Chrome and your Android apps, multi-window, resizable, laptop-friendly ways. I did like that. I really did like that. And I think that has some real potential. We're for the same thing that I said about the MacBook Neo, of an accessible device that gets you onto the web, runs the basic apps that you need it to run, gets all-day battery life, and is sub $600. I think this could be a good device. Now, the problem is, while the MacBook Neo does have access to Apple Intelligence features, it's not the OS. And the user sentiment around AI is waning quickly. To the point that I think the backlash from this is going to be even greater than... The backlash to this is going to outweigh the positives of an inexpensive user consumption laptop that we should be excited for.
Yeah.
I'm not excited about this device. I'm excited about a couple of the features that they announced.
We don't even know the price, though, either.
We don't know the price. We do know it's going to be primarily board partner or manufacturing partners who are building them. Acer, Asus, Dell, HP, Lenovo have all signed on to make Googlebooks. The usual partners in crime. But I'm not excited for these because this just feels like such a tone deaf, give the users everything they don't want and nothing that they actually do.
Yeah.
I look at the MacBook Neo and they go, do you need a laptop? Here's a laptop. It's incredibly well built. It runs Mac OS. It's about as fast as a 4-year-old laptop that we would have, but it's only $599, $499 if you're a student. And it'll do anything you want. It's not for enthusiasts, but it'll do anything the basic user needs. And I went, perfect, I'm sold. Oh, by the way, it has Apple Intelligence if you want to activate that. Okay, cool. I'm going to click no, and then I'm going to have a Mac OS device that costs me $500, $600, that gets 12 to 14 hours of battery life, that does everything that I need. Versus this is like, we're not even going to build it ourselves. We're going to rely on Google, or we're going to rely on Asus and Acer and Dell and HP and Lenovo to make Googlebooks however they deem fit, and whatever board designs they come up with. We're not going to make any reference platforms. The quality is going to be all over the map. By the way, this will run your Android and your Chrome OS applications, but it's going to have Gemini baked in at every nook and cranny, every orifice that we can possibly shove this into you. We are going to shove Gemini. That is the main feature of this device.
Yeah.
No one wants this.
Well, it's not enough to tell all their shareholders that, they have 99% adoption among, Google product users. Now they need to begin rolling out new products in which to colonize with their putrid garbage. And so this is it, the Google Book. They could have called it the Gemini Book or the Barf Book. Barf Book has a... that's catchy. Barf Book. I think I have a future in Google product development.
Yeah.
Barf Book. I'm gonna make some calls.
Green sends over a $2 super chat. Thank you so much. We are swimming in game ports, and they are good. I forgot to add that to the notes, and I'm really glad you mentioned something. So we'll dive into that here in a second. Jay sends over a $5 super chat. Thank you so much, Jay. Regarding Aluminum OS, not super stoked about yet another Google attempt to normalize users not having root, to be honest. Yeah, I agree with that. At a certain point, you need to be in control of your device. You need to be in control of what you run and what gets installed and things like that. And while Apple does exist and does build themselves a walled garden, you can turn off the safeguards. You can not on their phones necessarily, but on their desktop devices, on their laptops and desktops, you can say, hey, I want to install this app. And it goes, are you sure? That's not from the App Store. We can't verify it. And you go, yes, I'm sure. It's my device. And I downloaded this. And he goes, okay. That's how devices should work. I don't think everything needs to be Linux, where it's like, you want to delete the desktop environment? Okay, be my guest. No confirmation of anything. And I also don't think it should work like Android or to some extent iOS either, of, hey, you can only run applications from this one particular storefront. No cross compatibility, everything's a walled garden, we control everything in and out. That feels like not having ownership of a device to me. So I really like the middle ground that Mac OS has in that regard as well. Hey, this might screw things up. Are you sure? Okay, if you're sure, there you go.
Somebody asked, when are you going to add Gemini to OpenVyro?
I'm not. Speaking of OpenVyro, I have a video that's going live first thing in the morning, but we'll give you guys a quick sneak peek preview. I'm holding a box. There are 300 just like it upstairs and another 400 to go. We will have all backer orders ready to ship to Crowd Supply, who you ordered from, on Monday. So if you've been waiting for a device, these will be shipped to Crowd Supply on Monday.
Nice.
Maybe Tuesday. Monday. They will be in boxes on Monday. Yeah, it's all here.
Looking pretty slick.
Let me open that up. Look at that. It's all packaged. It's nice and neat. It's nice and compact. There's a little card that tells you go to openvyro.com for firmware updates. Don't do that yet because it's still the previous webpage. I haven't updated it yet with links to firmware or anything like that. There's a single temp sensor. Comes in an anti-static bag. And then there's the unit itself. Here is the gorgeous final product. There we go.
Nicely done.
Full aluminum build, laser etched on 4 of the 6 sides. This was not trivial to laser engrave. A lot of work went into this, but I'm thrilled with the way this came out.
Looks really good.
Yeah, I am super, super happy. Really happy that you guys are finally going to get them in your hands and they finally get out of my hands. Because as excited as I am tired of this and I would like to move on to other things other than logistics, because everyone knows how much I love logistics. Yeah, here's one of our finished temp sensors as well. This turned out freaking great. This is the enclosure is 3D printed, but the main enclosure component is actually glass-filled PETG. It is incredibly sturdy, robust. It feels good in your hand. Like, it's crazy how good this turned out. The top is translucent. There is an LED that shines through to let you know that the device is on and actively seeking temperature. I am so freaking excited to finally get these out the door and finally let you guys start playing with them. So that's the OpenVyro update. A lot more information to come tomorrow. I'm working on a blog post that will go out to all of the backers of the project, as well as a YouTube video that's going to go live at the same time, sometime probably first thing tomorrow morning. So really excited. PC ports. We are drowning in PC ports right now. It has been a really, really good 6 months for PC ports. We got Mario Kart 64 and Star Fox 64 not that long ago, like within a couple of days of each other. I think that was like December or something like that. And then this one went from announcement to like, oh, it's out now, in what feels like record time, at least as far as the timeline in which I was aware of this project, and that is Dusklight by Twilight Realm, otherwise known as Dusk. If you haven't figured it out already, this is a full PC decompilation and recompilation of Twilight Princess.
Oh.
And it plays beautifully. So if you're interested, if you love Twilight Princess, if you've been wanting to give it a try, native widescreen and unlocked frame rate support. In fact, some people who have done texture packs for the ROMs in the past, they are already compatible with the PC port. You can drag and drop your texture packs in there and play it, with upscaled textures. There's a whole bunch of added features in the PC application as well. There's cheat functionality, there's debug functionality, there's memory search functionality. There's a whole bunch of really, really cool things that are built right into the application. Huge shout out to Twilight Realm and the Dusk team for a job very well done. This is an incredibly well done PC port, and
nice. Kind
of indicative of what the quality of ports that we've been getting lately. Like I said, I mentioned the Star Fox 64 port. Mm-hmm. If anyone hasn't played that and you're a fan of Star Fox, go freaking play that. Like Star Fox 64 looks great at 30 frames per second on the Nintendo 64. You know, it looks even better on an ultra wide monitor, 144 hertz at 1440p. Chef's kiss.
Nice.
Be Real says, that looks very professional. Old Poi says, nice work, Craft. Thank you all so much. I am super excited for that. The other update for OpenVyro. I think I mentioned this before. Backer units are going to be shipped out. Immediately following backer units being shipped out, you will be able to purchase these at retail at Mouser. You'll be able to buy these on Mouser.com. So be on the lookout if you've been wanting devices for yourself. They will be carrying them on their website. And I am super excited for that as well.
Wait.
Because that means I don't have to carry them here. Yakto says, can confirm they physically exist. Yes. Yakto has been a fantastic beta and release candidate tester for me. He has a couple of units over in his rack right now. And in fact, we'll probably be doing a video up at YOLO Colo, going over the units themselves, doing an installation, and maybe a follow-up on how are they working in a little bit larger scale deployment than I have here on my home server rack, because I only have one server rack and I put one OpenVyro unit in there. I still have my Wi-Fi unit in there, but yeah, I've only got the one actual rack mountable PoE unit. So it'd be nice to see how it's working in a 6 or 7 rack setup. So video on that hopefully to come. Yakto also says, but didn't come with the promise of Santiam fish and chips. Well, that's because I brought it to you. If you'd picked it up from me, it would have come with fish and chips. That's how that works. It also didn't come with fish and chips because someone made me move an Arista 7508N. So...
yeah. How dare you, Yakto?
Yakto says he has Zabbix templates created for them as well. I believe Vince was doing Nagios templates. And as we see more of these created, we're going to see about being able to redistribute them on our GitHub page as soon as that goes live. So if you have an SNMP monitoring solution that you'd like to use them for, we are trying to both build, curate, and deploy templates so you can use them however you would like. Yakto says, Vince, the BSD of monitoring. Skull says, so the 7508 non-N comes with fish and chips? Should have gotten that one. Yeah. All right. Is my voice getting worse? I feel like my voice is getting worse.
No, actually, it sounds like you've gotten a little stronger.
It doesn't feel that way.
Yeah.
So Jay sends over $20. Thank you so much. So your V100 vid put me down a rabbit hole, now trying to build either a dual V100 machine or a triple 5060 Ti machine. But for tensor parallelism between cards, you need a lot of PCIe. Where's the sweet spot motherboard-wise? That is a great question. And it depends a little bit on what environment you're going to run in. What I mean by that is if you're going to run bare metal, I would likely recommend an Epic Rome or higher. In fact, Milan or Genoa would probably be where I would want to land for that. If you're going to do virtualization, this is going to ruffle some feathers. Xeon. Likely Xeon 6. Reason being is not because Xeon is faster, but because, and Yakto can run into this a lot. If you're doing virtualization or Threadripper non-pro, yeah, that's another great suggestion. If you're doing virtualization, AMD has some issues with VFIO when you get really complicated that slows down PCIe bus and makes things in general a little less stable than you would want them to be in full production. It's great. I've had really great luck testing it, but there are certain configurations of graphics cards and amount of bandwidth being thrown around that VFIO on AMD platforms has reared its head from time to time. So, Threadripper non-pro is also a phenomenal option. Either 4th or 5th gen, so 7000 or 9000 series Threadripper. 16 or 24 core chip, probably all you need for whatever you're doing. Just throw a bunch of memory at it and toss in 3 cards and off you go. Don't need virtualization, honestly, or anything other than single requests of Quen 3.6 27B with lots of context. Yeah, if you're not going to virtualize, I would say Threadripper non-pro. Like a 9960X Threadripper Zen 5, 7960X Threadripper Zen 4. Those are going to be fantastic options for you. Yakta chimes in, I do agree with Craft if you're going to virtualize, but for strictly bare metal, non-pro Threadripper would be a good option for PCIe 5.0 cards. Yes. If you're still on 3.0 cards, then you can go older. You can go down to Rome or Milan or something like that. But yeah, if you're on 5.0, you're going to want Zen 5. Green says, in an extreme budget case, it may be possible to use AM4, not with that many cards. Not with 3 cards. And especially for memory bandwidth bound applications like AI tends to be. You want all 16 lanes. It's more akin to mining than it is to gaming workloads. If this was strictly a raster pipeline, I would fully agree that you get away with X8 slots. No, if you're going to be demanding all of the memory bandwidth out of a card, you need max PCIe bandwidth. So yeah, there you go. Let's see. What do you want to do next, Rett?
Well, I mean, we got the next story right there, right? I mean,
yeah, we got BitLocker. We can go gaming. We can do a little Switch 2. Yeah, we can go BitLocker.
Let's just go in order. I'm feeling this order.
All right. Microsoft BitLocker. There's a new 0 day that apparently you need a USB key and 2 text files, and you can unlock BitLocker now. So the security researcher Chaotic Eclipse, aka Nightmare Eclipse, Chaotic Eclipse or Nightmare Eclipse, today, 10 hours ago, published 2 0-day exploits for Windows. And they're both pretty extreme. I haven't looked at the exact CVEs, but I guarantee these are 9s and higher. These are going to be up there. They have published 2 exploits known as Blue Hammer and Red Sun. And the first one unlocks BitLocker with nothing more than a USB key. If you can plug in a USB key and you can copy files to it, you can break encryption on basically any Windows device today. That's a little frightening. And likely something that is going to need to be patched really quickly.
No, you don't say.
Yeah. Blue Hammer was the Windows Defender exploit. That's right. So Blue Hammer is the other fun one. Because this is privilege escalation inside of Windows using Windows Defender against itself. I have a low-level understanding of this one. But system prompts that pop up in Windows do not pop up. Everything in your computer, regardless of operating system, runs with a certain user-level privilege. So if you're on Linux, you either run a process can either run as root, or it can run as a privileged user. On Windows, it can run as an administrative user, a non-privileged user. There's also a user called system, which is basically the base OS. System is root. It is the equivalent of root on a Linux PC. Windows Defender, when you get that gray screen in the pop-up window that says, hey, are you sure you want to open this zip file? We don't recognize who this is from. That pop-up window is run by system. It's not run by your user. It's run by system. What Bluehammer has managed to do is basically not remote code execution, but privilege escalation using that pop-up window to then run other applications and escalate your user's privilege to give you system access. Hallercall instigated Bluehammer, a publicly released unpatched Windows 0 day that allows low-privileged local users to escalate NT authority system. Full proof of concept source code is now live on GitHub and has been independently confirmed to work by vulnerability researcher Will Dorman of Theros. No kernel bug, no memory corruption, no code execution inside of Defender. It abuses the interaction between Windows Defender's update workflow, volume shadow copy service, and Windows Cloud File API. So basically, using the pop-up window that shows up, they are able to jump into leapfrog into other systems and then escalate your user's privilege using that system prompt. During certain Defender update and remediation workflows, Defender creates a temporary volume shadow copy snapshot. Bluehammer uses cloud file callbacks and op blocks to pause Defender at precisely the right moment, leaving the snapshot mounted and the SAM system and security registry hives available. Files that are normally locked at runtime. So this, yeah, it's... Hey, we found an application that runs via system. Let's pause it, leave it open, and then be able to tweak it and then give our user root access. It's a really clever exploit.
And luckily it's in the news. Get a fast patch for this one.
Yeah. So yeah, this is out there and it's live now. There is no patch as of yet. Hopefully Patch Tuesday will have something this next week, but for the next couple of days, good luck. Sasquatch sends over a message. Hey, Jeff and gang, just an FYI, there hasn't been a podcast update even on Spotify since the 23rd. So last week we did do a podcast. The week before I was off. And then the week before that was the 23rd. And so, yes, you're correct. Last week should have been automatically uploaded. I will go ahead and check the bot for that and find out why that didn't get uploaded. Typically what happens is there is an automated process that runs after the conclusion of a show. YouTube re-encodes the video for video on demand. Once the podcast goes live on VOD, we have a bot that scrapes the audio and the video description and title off of that, uploads it to Spotify, and then we use Spotify APIs to redistribute it to every other platform. And so this podcast isn't sponsored by Spotify, but we do use Spotify API to be able to distribute, which is why I give Spotify the plug at the beginning of the show. It's just the platform we use, so I want to give them their due. But yeah, I will look into why that didn't work. I hadn't checked, so I will do that. Thank you for the reminder. Old Poi says, last week we got plain text passwords, and this week one-click root. Next week is looking exciting now. Yeah, there's been a lot of really discoveries in Windows security issues over the last couple of weeks. So be on the lookout for patches as they come in. Although I don't know if the plain text passwords in Edge memory, I don't know if we're going to get a patch for, because Microsoft says that was working as intended. And as of right now, there's no exploits that are actually in the live for it. It's been demoed in a lab. But we don't know if it's being actively exploited. You would need a someone's going to have to write a package to be able to do that. So we'll see when that happens. I'm sure it will happen eventually. And eventually there will be a patch and Microsoft will go, oh, maybe plain text passwords aren't a great idea. Hopefully.
I'm sure they'll come up with a way for AI to be integrated to, prevent any future issues.
Why do you think these bugs exist? Oh, we wrote 60% of our outgoing code, of our published code with AI this last year.
Well, it's working. Now they can say, well, this is the problem with owning your own computer. It's always going to be vulnerable. If only you would give in and get your thin client and subscribe to Office 365 Copilot Plus, and it doesn't even have a trackpad and a keyboard. You just use voice commands to prompt Copilot to check your email and to log into work, and you're good to go.
Doomer says, hey, Copilot, fix all my bugs. There's been a meme going around right now about Claude, people vibe coding with Claude, and developers getting really upset. I specifically said no errors at compilation time. Come on! Those memes have been great lately. Jay says, just found Crimson Keep at the grocery store. # winning. That is indeed winning. Dragon's Milk Crimson Keep. One of my favorite brews. So, get yourself one of those. Have a great night, sir.
I think I have a Crimson Keep in the fridge, maybe. No, I don't.
Did you drink that one finally?
Yeah. Well, did you give me a Crimson Keep?
I gave you a Crimson Keep, yeah.
Then I definitely have one left over.
Okay.
It's the last one I've got.
Yeah, I gave you a Crimson and one of the Golden Nails, I think.
That's right.
Yeah.
Actually, you gave me multiple of each, but
yes.
I've got one more Crimson Keep left.
I am a generous god.
Yes, you
are. Well, on to more bad news. The Nintendo Switch 2 is getting a price hike. This doesn't seem to be happening until... did they say September? Or is this going live like now? I've seen multiple reports. Basically, the Nintendo Switch 2 is going up by 50... Oh yeah, starting on September 1st. There it is. So this is on Gizmodo, which I haven't been to their website in years. They're in dark mode. They've got a new logo, new typeface. That's a good looking site.
Shout out Gizmodo.
Yeah. Nintendo Switch 2 getting a price hike, and it's all AI's fault. Yes, it is. Rampocalypse, global RAM shortage. In the US market, Switch 2 is going up by $50 starting on September 1st. The hybrid console will cost $499 instead of the current $449, although everyone's been buying the $499 model because that comes with Mario Kart World, the only game worth getting on the Switch 2. And other regions will see price hikes too. In Canada from €629 to €679, Europe from €469 to €499. And then Japan, I guess, is going up like $70 equivalent or something like that. So, yeah.
Wow. Yeah. I mean,
everything is awesome. Buy a new Googlebook with Gemini, so everything else can be more expensive.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
I mean, it's impressive that it managed to stay as affordable. I mean, I don't know. I didn't think the Switch 2 was affordable to begin with necessarily, but they resisted the urge to increase prices. I mean, it's kind of interesting. We're living in the video game era. Like, I don't like think about the PS5 for example.
Yeah.
It's been out for a long time, as long as previous generations when the next generations came out, if that makes sense. So it's gone kind of like a whole life cycle, without a price decrease.
Yeah.
Like, remember, you used to be able to buy like the thin PlayStation for like half the cost.
Yeah, the PlayStation 3, for example, came out I think at $6.99 and $7.99 for the different models. Like, Blu-ray player, back in the day, but super expensive console. By the end of the PlayStation 3, you could buy a PS3 Slim for $2.99 or even $2.49 in some places. Xbox One also did similar things, like launched for, what was it, $500. By the end of its life, it was $2.99. To be fair, the Nintendo Switch never dropped in price either. We got a Switch Lite, so we did eventually get a cheaper model, but the original,
which I think is which is vaguely like getting the PlayStation Slim.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? It's
I
mean, I don't. But with the PS5 in particular,
PS5's gone up in price.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
exactly. And so we're living in a weird time for their. I guess things are going to be a little bit different going forward.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Ask yourself if you need a Switch 2, and if you do, then consider getting one before September.
Yep.
Or do what I do and buy everything on Craigslist from some kid who got grounded and his parents are really upset and want to get rid of his nice things.
Yep. I am having a good old classic over here.
Woohoo!
Little pub beer.
Excellent choice.
Yes.
That's the good stuff.
Yeah. Almost as good as Rainier.
Almost. Not quite. Still working on it, but someday they may catch up.
So good. Just crisp. Like it. All right. What else do we talk about? We normally don't do this. That was the news. That was the list. That was the entire
when was the
list.
last time we completed the list?
We even got Portland Fire Talk in there. Like,
yeah, I mean, to be fair, there was only 4 stories in the news this week, and those were all of them. So nothing else happened whatsoever.
Yeah.
Gosh. I mean, yeah, we talked about cassettes. We talked about Portland Fire.
Yeah.
I guess that's all that happens in the world. I've been really binging a lot of Caves of Cud. Any Caves of Cud fans out there? Give a shout out in chat. But God, I can't stop playing that game. It's so addicting. And speaking of playing it on a Steam Deck, which I didn't quite get there, I'm jumping the shark.
Yeah.
What do you think about the Steam controller? You gonna get one or?
I missed the initial 30-minute window where people were buying them. I do have a line in the queue. I have the original Steam controller. I'll be perfectly honest. I wasn't a huge fan of the original Steam controller.
Yeah, the original sucked.
Yeah.
This is the new one.
Right. I have the Steam Deck. I really like the Steam Deck, and basically this is the Steam Deck controller in controller form, but with way better joysticks, with TMS joysticks instead of even Hall effect joysticks, which is freaking awesome. The touchpads. Look, I'm obviously an alternative input fan.
Yeah. Are we about to get a hot take from Jeff here?
No, I don't think so. This is just a personal preference. I've never really liked or used the touchpads for gaming. It is nice to have a mouse option, but I found that for like first-person shooters,
No.
I'm more than comfortable on a joystick, on you know, on a regular controller input. And so the touchpads on my Steam Deck go unused 99.9% of the time. I don't use them in gaming. I don't use the hotkey functionality. I don't use the mouse functionality on them. They're there, and I'm sure they're nice, and I'm sure people like them. For me, they don't move the needle, though.
Yeah. I can't imagine using them for shooters. That's bizarre to me. If like you're already using your thumb to aim, the thumbstick's right there.
Right.
Like, we've all played shooters with our thumbs. Let's not act as though, you know, as PC gamers, we're above it.
Right. There are a number of games I prefer playing on controller, even versus mouse and keyboard. Oftentimes, isometric style games I really like playing on controller. Diablo 2, the remaster of Diablo 2, I love that they added controller support, and I play Diablo 2 on controller now. That's blasphemous from a PC gaming perspective.
Well, and that's what's made Caves of Cud so accessible, is that they did so much work to figure out the best controller layout. And so you have this epic, monstrous game that had a shortcut for every key on your keyboard, and now it's condensed into a controller.
Yeah.
And it works better than the mouse and keyboard. Make that make sense. I mean,
right.
It's so good.
Games like Stardew Valley, I play on controller. I've been really into Dinkum lately, which is an Animal Crossing meets Stardew Valley kind of clone game. They've been kind of a dime a dozen. I've kind of fallen in love with Dinkum. Like I've put a lot of time into it the last couple of weeks, and I've been really, really enjoying it. Now when I play on controller. What's funny is my wife grew up as strictly a console gamer, and now she is purely a keyboard and mouse gamer. Any game on the computer she plays on keyboard and mouse. She doesn't use a controller. And so we're playing Dinkum next to each other, or Stardew Valley, or Baldur's Gate 3, or games like that. And she's rocking away on the keyboard and mouse, and I've got a controller in my hand. It's a really weird dynamic.
Baldur's Gate 3 is another one that shouldn't work as well with controller.
As it does.
It's so good. Yeah. It's really appreciated when developers put so much work into finding a controller layout that really works.
Yeah.
And Green says it. Like, if I was an RTS guy, I might like the pads more. And that's exactly like, I'm not really a big RTS guy, but like more of like management or sim style games. Like I play RimWorld on my Steam Deck quite a bit, and the trackpads make that really easy. You know, but otherwise it's like, I don't know, don't necessarily need the trackpads. But yeah, I don't know. I'm in the queue too, so we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah. I'm gonna get one because I'm curious, and I'm sure people will want my impressions of it eventually, and I'd like to give them. Do I think it's going to replace my Xbox Elite controller? I don't know. I do like having the back buttons. I use those quite a bit, and I will remap those depending on the game. I mean, who doesn't want 4 additional buttons? I use the additional buttons on the Steam Deck all the time.
I really need to figure out something to do with those, because like I see, like every time I jump online, like people are always talking about custom controller layouts on the Steam Deck, and I guess I just don't have a big imagination, you know. So I've never assigned any buttons on the Steam Deck, never changed the layout. I just play what the developers think I deserve.
Most games I play with defaults. But yeah, like I said, the touchpads just don't move the needle for me, though.
Yeah.
Like it's cool. They work well. I'm not going to say they don't work well, but my muscle memory is not attuned to them. And even I tried to use them. I tried to use them for 3, 4, 5 months. And every time I went to them, I'm like, this just doesn't feel as natural or intuitive, specifically for like shooters and first-person games and things like that, as just using the joystick. I'm so much more attuned to using the joystick. And so I stopped trying.
Don't get it with the shooters, but yeah, who knows? Maybe there's something there. Um, so I guess we'll have to see.
Yeah. Still looking forward to the Steam Frame, the VR headset. As soon as that comes out, I'm a day one buyer.
Yeah, I was thinking of you when I was looking at that because I didn't really know anything about it until I was trying to look online and get a fix on like when the Steam Machine release date is.
Yeah.
I was like, Steam Frame? Oh, that's for Jeff. Okay.
Can you get a hold of them and just have them send me one, please? Like,
Yeah,
can we make that happen? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
I've been hiding out on.
I'm gonna cross that off my list. Then it's all up to you.
All right. Good. I'll handle it, Jeff. Don't you worry. Meanwhile, on the back of a truck.
Let's see. Novella. What's Novella drinking? Beer number 2, Treehouse Brewing. King Julius Double IPA. 8.4%. 4.67?
Wow.
What?
Must be like the I don't know, the golden juice there or something.
4.67 rating on Untapped. I repeat, what?
It's like the Ark of the Covenant in beer form.
Yeah. My God.
It's the top-rated hazy IPA in the entire world, according to Rev.
Yeah. On 45,000 check-ins.
Wow.
This isn't an anomaly with like 6 people that really liked it and one gave it a 4. This is like legitimately, as Skull says, the Holy Grail.
Yeah.
Why did I not know about this beer?
It's funny I said the Ark of the Covenant. I was looking for the Holy Grail, and I said the Ark of the Covenant. What? Why did I do that?
I don't know.
Oh, well.
I let it slide.
Yeah, thank you.
Jay says, it's the Jesus of beers. No, that would be even more Jesus.
Yeah, Jesus isn't as popular as this beer.
Yeah, Evil Twin Brewing, even more Jesus. This guy.
Oh, no. Of course.
It's a 14% barrel-aged Imperial Stout. There's also the even more 8-pound, 6-ounce newborn infant Jesus.
Yes, sweet baby Jesus.
Yeah. Had that one quite a few times. Yeah, double barrel Jesus. Un Café Mas Jesus.
Even more blueberry jelly donut Jesus.
There's way more Jesus than we knew about.
I guess so.
Does it have baby Jesus in it? No, that was the infant baby Jesus. 8-pound, 6-ounce infant baby Jesus.
It's just baby Jesus byproduct. So stuffed in an artificial casing.
Jay says, blasphemous.
Blasphemous is pretty good.
That is such a good word.
It's like Sandy Am, they got their one. What's that? The Sangre de Cristo or whatever.
Yeah.
The blood of Christ. It's like their weird like orange stout or something.
Yeah.
I don't know when they do that or if they've done that more than a couple times.
I haven't seen that in years.
Yeah. Blasphemous.
That's such a good word.
That's very good. That's like a Simpsons word right there. Futurama
Yeah.
or something.
Yeah, very Matt Groening coded.
Yeah.
Oh. What else is there? What's everyone else drinking tonight? We didn't do any beer shout-outs at the beginning of today's episode.
That's probably why we blasted through the news.
I think so, yeah. I mean, we still took 15 minutes at the beginning of the show. Like, it wasn't like we rushed into the news or anything. What's everyone else drinking tonight?
I finished my Beagle Eagle. It was good.
By the way, it's Beach Eagle, not Beagle Eagle.
Why did I say Beagle Eagle?
I don't know. You've said that twice. I let it slide the first time too, but if you're gonna repeat it, I'm gonna call you.
I did say Beach Eagle when I
said
it.
Nope.
No, go back to the VOD, somebody. Go back to the VOD.
Next Fish and Chips, I will bet you that you said Beagle Eagle.
You're on.
Done.
Okay, everybody, you heard it. Let's go back and find out what I called it.
Rhett's gonna owe me some Sandy Am Brewing here in a minute. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see. I might go back and find this myself.
I was just gonna do that myself. Hold on.
Baby.
Yeah. Okay. You've never had then port you blue self there. Wait a minute, but it's right. We're almost there. We'll do which try is all past.
Good choice. I'm just gonna drink a beer. Another Beagle Eagle from Fort George.
Did you hear it?
I did say Beagle.
You did.
Oh. All right, fish and chips on me.
I told you I let it go.
Dang it. I call it Beagle Eagle all the time. Why did I think I didn't?
I don't know.
I don't think I've ever called it Beach Eagle.
You just had to press the issue, didn't you?
Yeah.
Betrayed by your own hubris.
Well, I still win. I get fish and chips. You know,
this is true. That's fair.
Yeah, maybe I've got Legal Eagle on the brain.
That definitely could be. Novella says King Julius is my first 5.0 rating on Untapped. Like I said, today I kind of needed a 5.0. Like, and the one that I have, the only one I've ever given, is the Rye Way to Heaven Revolution Brewing. And so I was kind of feeling that tonight, but then I'm like, I'm not gonna have a 16-ounce hot toddy. And then, by the way, the recipe I gave was for 8-ounce, so double.
Be careful.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not gonna have a 16-ounce hot toddy and then try to down a Rye Way to Heaven. I still have a couple drinks of this left anyway. Green says, damn, fish and chips sounds so good. Yeah, Green has seen the pictures of the fish and chips at Sandy Am, so.
Yeah, it's unbeatable, and it sucks. You go there, and I'm sure like their other food is good, but like, why would you deviate?
The only other one that there's two other options as I see it at Sandy Am, and I know you disagree on one of them. I really love their English breakfast. You get me some bangers and mash and eggs and toast and beans and you know, a cask Maibach to go with it. Like, there's not much better in the world than that combo.
I just got a Paloma delivered to me now, so
dude,
my plight was heard across the airwaves.
Yeah. So thirsty.
How can I continue to talk about the news?
So weak. If only Jen, so far away.
Actually, I think a Paloma. Is it tequila?
Is it tequila? It might be tequila.
Like tequila.
Yeah.
A Greyhound would be.
That okay? That's right.
Yeah, they're like the same almost.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, tequila and grapefruit. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, that's right. Greyhound is the gin and grapefruit.
Greyhounds are really good.
Yes,
I like
they are.
Greyhounds too.
Yeah. You are correct.
We're on a good. Wait, did we bet fish and chips on it?
No, I didn't stake my reputation on having said that.
Hey, I didn't stake my reputation on anything. I was gambling for some fish and chips. Okay.
I do like your theory on that. Look, I'm gonna bet, but either way, I win because I get fish and chips. Like,
I was like, oh, game on.
That's a solid plan.
It's weird because I swear I must say it, and then I read the name, and I'm like, yeah, Beach Eagle. That's what I said, you know. But
Yeah. The other truly amazing meal that you can get at San Am is their Western burger. Is their
oh yeah,
barbecue, onion rings, their Western burger. It is class. But usually I get the fish and chips.
yeah, me too. Do you know? Have you heard of the rap group Kneecap?
Kneecap, no.
So they're a Irish rap band, right? And they're kind of really popular right now because, well, I mean, lots of reasons. Like they're pretty good, but they're really big, kind of proponents of the Irish language revival. They rap in Gaelic. Yeah, yeah. They rap in Gaelic, and their lyrics are like very provocative and all that, you know.
Yeah.
And they got in big trouble at Coachella for, airing messages about the state of affairs in Palestine and things like that. And
Yeah.
they're kind of interesting. But anyway, I bring them up because, they just launched an album. Must have been last week. And the album is really good. You can buy the cassette on Bandcamp. But turns out they have a movie, a biopic, right? They have a biopic,
Nice.
kind of about how the band started. And it's really good. It's super funny, especially because the movie is almost more about kind of the Irish language revival than it is really about the band in a way.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's so funny and like so irreverent. Like, and then it turns out I'm watching it and like I was kind of like, dang, these guys are like pretty good actors. It's like, oh no, it's like that's the band. The band acts in it. They they pull a Beatles basically.
Yeah.
So anyway, it's on Netflix. It goes out in a few weeks, but if
Doing
you
that
want a good
thing
laugh,
you do.
yes, actually, and in some ways, it really reminds me
Yeah.
of that thing you do.
Yeah.
It's less cutesy and charming because it's about contemporary Belfast or whatever. But,
Right. No, I'll have to watch that one. That sounds fun.
yeah, it's pretty good. The movie I think is really accessible because and Michael Fassbender's in it. If that sweetens the deal at all, he's really good in it.
Okay.
So, the movie's really good, and I think it's a good sampling of like some of their music or whatever. You kind of listen if you listen to some of their music, it's kind of I think hard to break into without that touchstone. Highly recommend the movie though.
Yeah, I don't speak Gaelic, nor can I.
They speak English too in their songs. They go back and forth. They
Okay,
blend it.
well that's cool.
But the movie is in Gaelic mostly, so that's kind of cool.
Oh,
yeah,
nice.
so they have subtitles obviously, but
Yeah.
My friend texted me after I watched it. And he's like, "Well, did you watch it with subtitles on?" And I'm like, "Yes." And he's like, "Oh, well, I've been practicing on Duolingo, and sometimes I can kind of get the vibe of what they're going for." And I was like, did you watch the movie without subtitles, bro?
Yeah.
Like, because I would have got a dang thing at all. But yeah, Old Poi says it's new punk. I don't know if he's talking about Kneecap, but he said that Kneecap is excellent. They really remind me of a punk band, but it is like contemporary rap.
Yeah.
But it's good. It's really good. I don't know if I could have quite gotten into it without the movie, but with the movie, I understand more about what they're about and stuff, and it's kind of cool to see. They were ones that they faced trial in England. Because like in England they've got somebody. If anybody's watching from the UK right now, they could probably explain this better than me. But
that's where Old Poi is at.
They have this anti-terrorism bill that you see everybody getting in trouble for holding signs about Palestine. They get arrested, right? So they because Belfast is in the UK and not Ireland. Well, it is Ireland, but you know what I mean. According to the UK, according to them, they tried to arrest and charge one of the members of Kneecap for terrorism charges for holding a sign or whatever. and he requested an Irish interpreter to to have his court proceedings conducted,
Yeah.
in Gaelic for him, which I thought was pretty charming.
That's funny.
Yeah, and they ended up having to drop the case. Probably, I think that because of technical bureaucracy, like they just
Yeah.
didn't file things in time. Probably because it was all lame anyway. But
Yeah. So Novella did post a picture of the beer on the Discord. So here is the King Julius.
nice. That looks very good.
It looks solid. It looks like an orange Julius. If anyone still from the 90s remember Orange Julius in every mall around America. Now you can get an Orange Julius in Dairy Queen, by the way. If you have a Dairy Queen that's still open near you. Dairy Queen, I believe, bought the rights to Orange Julius and can now make Orange Julius in their restaurants.
Nice.
So
Nice.
yeah, you can get an Orange Julius at Dairy Queen still, which is a fun little known fact.
Nice. But it'll be made by an underpaid teenager who probably has homework due the next day, but is getting paid to make a really bad Orange Julius.
Also, yes. Strangely enough, from the mall kiosk, they have not gotten any better by going to a brick and mortar store.
Honestly, they probably got worse at Dairy Queen. Like, I love Dairy Queen, I really do.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know about you, but I haven't had a good experience at a Dairy Queen in like over a decade.
Nope. But I still keep going back because peanut butter parfait is fire. Like,
Plus, like, it's kind of one of those places that is like routinely found in rural places too.
yeah,
So you can always find them like on a highway,
yeah.
on a road trip somewhere.
I can't remember the last burger that I had there. I will say their chicken is usually pretty good. They do have like a chicken sandwich that's pretty great. They do like chicken marinara and Swiss, and I remember that being really good. Their chicken strip basket is just great. Yeah, no, you go there for the ice cream, and there's little that beats a peanut butter parfait in my opinion.
Yeah, those are pretty OG.
Yeah.
I like the chicken strips too, like Jason says. I don't know why they go pretty hard at Dairy Queen.
They really do. Yeah, their chicken is just great.
And, like,
I don't know why it's better than anyone else.
I low-key love like the toast.
Yeah, I think that's part of it. Is they include a little piece of sourdough with it. It's like
Yeah.
it's so good.
I don't know why, but yeah, I'm all for it. Woohoo! Thanks for hanging out, Tanmay.
Yeah, wait, Dairy Queen does more than Blizzards? Yeah. Yeah, of course they do. You'll never get good customer service. You will wait 40 minutes in a drive-through. But it's usually worth it. And I think that's just the business model that works for them is, look, we're only going to pay minimum wage. We're going to be busy. We're going to be understaffed. But you came here for the ice cream, and we have the best ice cream out of any fast food joint. So come at us, bro. I think that's their whole business model.
Yeah, probably.
By the way, we've also owned every restaurant site for the last 40 years. So they're paid off, and you know,
they're sitting pretty.
We got nothing but equity at this point. Like,
The
they're
best
not putting
Dairy
in
Queen-
new Dairy Queens, that's for sure.
Yeah. The best Dairy Queen I've ever had was in Jackson Hole, Wyoming. So anytime that you're going through Jackson Hole, Wyoming, make sure you stop in there downtown. Get yourself some cheese curds and a Blizzard.
What's funny is I don't go to the Dairy Queens that are like local here, but usually if I'm traveling in Oregon,
Exactly.
they're one of the better places that you can go on the beach towns. I usually go when I'm in Tillamook or Florence or Newport or Cannon Beach or wherever I happen to be. There's usually a Dairy Queen right around there.
The one in Rhododendron, which is on the way to Mount Hood, that's a really good one too.
There's one in Oak Ridge, which is pretty great, along Highway 58 if you're coming out of Eugene. Yeah, and they've just always been there. Like I went to every one of those Dairy Queens when I was 5 years old or less. And
nice.
Those places still exist. The same exact building, same address. Nothing has changed.
See, where I'm from, the Dairy Queen is basically staffed by overworked and not good teenagers. They run the place so badly.
Yeah.
But, you get your ice cream, so that's what counts.
Who's the guy smoking pot behind the register? Oh, that's Jason. He's the shift leader. He turned 17 yesterday.
Yeah.
Like, that's a Dairy Queen.
Yeah. Even down to the name. Jason is such a stoner DQ shift leader name. Like, that's pretty good.
I have my moments, man. Hot Dairy Queen talk here on Talking Heads.
Mir PC says, is A&W still open? I tried going there in Coquille and they were shuttered. And there are A&Ws in Oregon. There's one in Salem that's pretty good.
Speaking of Oak Ridge, Oregon, like, you're not going to get many of these shout outs. There's both a Dairy Queen and an A&W there.
Nice.
And the A&W in Oak Ridge is still one of the old Bellhop or the drive-in roller skate types that they will come out to your car and do car side service.
I think they got one of those still in like Sweet Home, Oregon too, out in the boonies.
Yeah.
I think that's an A&W.
Yeah.
Been a while.
That sounds right.
But yeah, A&W is really good. Again, the cheese curds are top notch.
Yeah. I mean, you go for the root beer floats, you get the cheese curds and the onion rings, and you get an okay burger.
Yeah.
But that's their business model.
Main Street, Sweet Home is the A&W.
All right.
It looks good. And it's still the drive-in as well. Oh, no. Is it? No, I think those are just parking spots now.
Rev says, I miss the old A&W KFC that used to be in Stockton, California. Imagine getting an order of chili cheese KFC wedges and a float, right?
That's what we have in North Salem.
Yeah.
Is the A&W KFC combo.
Yep. There's one of those in Canby as well, I believe. We're also getting hot local Oregon talk.
But did you know that there's no Chili's in Oregon?
I did. In fact, I'm well aware of that fact because I genuinely like Chili's.
The only time I've ever had Chili's was with you. And it was in Las Vegas.
Yeah. No, I genuinely like Chili's. There used to be quite a few. There was one at Valley River Center in Eugene. There was one at Clackamas Town Center. There was one in Wilsonville.
Yeah, I remember the Wilsonville one.
Yep. There were quite a few around, and then they all closed. And then the last Chili's that existed in Oregon was the one at Valley River down in Eugene. And then there was also one in PDX in the airport behind security. And both the Eugene one and the Portland one went away at the same time. So.
Nice.
And in fact, I was spending the day down in Eugene one time, and we were trying to find a place to go eat, and we're like, where do we go? Oh, there's a Chili's at Valley. Let's just go to Chili's. And like, they had closed the day before. And so we walked up and we're like, what the crap? What is all that? I thought Jeff was an Applebee's guy. Hell no. I hate Applebee's.
Yeah, until it's 1 o'clock in the morning.
I still hate Applebee's. We're gonna get into some hot restaurant talk here. Like, let's go chain restaurant talk for the last 15 minutes because I got some opinions on Applebee's.
So we're pretty privileged over here on the West Coast. We can dunk on the chains.
Yeah, exactly.
Because we have food culture nearby.
Yeah. So Applebee's. The first time I ever went to an Applebee's, I gotta say I was probably 15 or 16. They weren't real common here in Oregon, but there were quite a few in Washington. And I remember I was on some trip in Seattle, and someone goes, "Hey, let's go to Applebee's for dinner." And everyone went, "All right, that sounds great." And I'm like, "I've never been to an Applebee's. Let's go to Applebee's. That's cool. I've seen the commercials." Go to Applebee's, and I remember I ordered the salmon. Like they had like a king salmon thing. I'm like, all right, fish sounds good. And by the way, this is a long time ago. I was 15.
Go ahead
not,
and give us an exact year, Jeff.
I'm not 15 anymore. I don't know if anyone knows that. This was a long time ago. The salmon was like $25. And it was one of the more expensive things on the menu. And I ordered the salmon. And what I got was a piece of fish about this big. And like 8 French fries and a little thing of parsley. And that was $25. And I went, I don't need to see anything else on the menu. I hate it here. And I have hated Applebee's ever since. And every time I go to an Applebee's now, I'm like, yeah, give me like the chicken Alfredo. Give me a burger. Give me this, give me that. Every meal I've ever gotten at Applebee's, that was 3 times as expensive and not as filling as it should have been.
You know, and to Applebee's detriment, when the war in Ukraine started, you know, I was watching the news a lot, and they literally cut coverage. Wish I could remember the exact details, but they cut coverage.
I remember this.
Applebee's ad.
I remember this.
And, you know, it was kind of around the time that, like, Bo Burnham's Inside came out. What was really in vogue at the time was doing covers of Bo Burnham's That Funny Feeling.
Yeah.
But writing your own verses. And so I wrote one based on that moment about Applebee's, and it said, you know, the lyric, if you guys know the kind of meter of That Funny Feeling, the lyric was, we interrupt this bombing run to bring you Applebee's when eating good in the neighborhood just brings you to your knees.
That's good. That's really good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
there
no,
it is.
Yeah. I found it.
Yeah.
Yep.
I remember watching that live, and I was just like, this is incredible.
Yeah. This bombing of Ukraine brought to you by Applebee's. Eating good in the neighborhood.
I mean, not this neighborhood. That one's gone.
Right, yeah. The other... Eating good where you're at, because your neighborhood is so here. Yeah, no, everything I've ever had at Applebee's was not good, not filling, not enough food for 3 times too much.
There is something about the Applebee's, like, bar area when you're, like, traveling for, like, business or whatever, and you're by yourself. You can usually go and sit there and actually have, like, a halfway decent conversation with, like, a stranger.
Yeah.
Which is, like, not really gonna happen in a lot of other places. For whatever reason, Applebee's kinds of attracts those types of people.
Yeah. I feel like that's an accurate assessment.
I'm not gonna defend their food or their service, but, like, if you're traveling for business and your
or their
hotel
beer
is buying...
list or their appetizers.
Well, I had a Mac and Jack's Amber Ale at the last Applebee's I was at the bar. So I was like, okay, I got off work. The Applebee's was right by my hotel. I walked over. I was just going to hang out, drink a beer, and read my phone.
Yep.
And I ended up having a chat with a guy who was like a lacrosse coach for, like, some growing club or something. And it was like, yeah, it was interesting. He told me everything about lacrosse.
Where was this at?
Southern Oregon.
Okay.
Yeah. He was like a club coach for, like, a whole swath of towns, including, like, Roseburg and Eugene, and, like...
What's funny is that area, my uncle used to be a lacrosse club coach. So I was just like, where in the world... did you go to the Eugene Applebee's? Because there's a good chance.
No. This was further south. It's a place that I needed a hotel for. I would have just driven home from Eugene.
Right, but I'm like... Wait, what?
Yeah. But, and no, this guy was probably, like, maybe your age. Or if not your age, like, certainly between you and me.
Okay. Yeah.
Not old enough to be your uncle. Unless, maybe, you know, you got some funny business. You know, because one of my closest friends, his nephew is also his cousin. So.
Yeah. Fun. Yeah, I like Chili's. I don't like Applebee's. I don't like Denny's. I don't like Denny's for a lot. I don't like Denny's for food quality. Like, I feel like I get enough, but everything is so bland and genericized. And I know that's kind of the point, is you know what you're going to get when you walk in the door. But
Yeah, it all vaguely tastes like bacon grease and maple syrup.
But if I wanted a Bob's Burger served on a plate, I would go to Bob's Burger and just have it served in a paper bag. I wouldn't go to Denny's and pay $17 for it. Like that again, it feels like it's too. I do like IHOP. Like I would much rather go to an IHOP than a Denny's.
What?
Yeah. Lean into the things that you're good at. It's International House of Pancakes. I go into an IHOP and I will get a giant stack of pancakes or a Belgian waffle or something like that, and I leave happy. I walk into a Denny's.
International House of Pancakes, but have you ever been to one internationally, Jeff?
You know...
Yeah, it's a lie. It's not international.
But that's the thing. But that's the thing. Like, Denny's is supposed to be known for what? Burgers and fries? I go in and their burgers and fries are terrible.
Wait. Denny's is burgers and fries?
It's a diner.
No.
Yeah.
You're eating at Denny's wrong. It's not burgers and fries.
What is Denny's then?
It's a breakfast place. You get breakfast.
Denny's is the 24-hour restaurant. That's what they're known for.
You get the Grand Slam. No, you're thinking of Sherry's.
I liked Sherry's way better than Denny's, at least before they went all venture capital and then closed and left 3,000 workers stranded.
Seriously. No. Denny's is...
I wish venture capital would buy Denny's, okay?
Yeah, see, you sober up at Denny's, which means breakfast, lumberjack slam... Wait, what's the lumberjack slam? That's the breakfast. Anything that's slam.
My Grand Slam was supposed to come with sausage. That's an old Family Guy reference, by the way.
Do they even have burgers and fries at Denny's?
Yes.
Huh. I've only ever had the breakfast sandwich. I get the same thing there every time.
Yeah.
Like the breakfast sandwich with eggs and sausage and like cheese and...
Denny's...
I think it's called the Grand Slamwich is what I get.
Okay, yeah. I mean, Denny's does have the Grand Slam. Denny's, to me, has never been advertised as a breakfast place, though. It's the place that's always open. It's the place that is 24 hours, and they serve breakfast, lunch, and dinner all hours of the day. But they have chicken fried steak, and they have burgers, and they have...
Chicken fried steak is breakfast.
Debatable. Debatable. Do you all have Waffle Houses in the Pacific Northwest? No, we do not.
Yeah, unfortunately not.
Yeah. No, we had Sherry's until Sherry's went under. But no, like, I go to an IHOP and I know IHOP does breakfast food. IHOP also does burgers and crap like that too, but they lean into the breakfast thing. Denny's doesn't seem to lean into one direction or the other. And in fact, I identify Denny's more with burgers and fries and like diner than I do with breakfast food.
And I guess like they are described as an American table service diner style restaurant chain.
Exactly. That's their marketing. And so when I go in there and I say, give me diner food, their diner food is terrible.
But Denny's.com, the little clip on Google says Denny's is your 24/7 all day breakfast restaurant.
Okay.
So it certainly has a lot more. It's known for more than I thought it was, because I thought it was just breakfast.
No, I've always known Denny's as a diner, not as a breakfast joint.
Yeah, that's interesting.
IHOP is the breakfast joint.
I didn't know that Denny's was 24/7 either, because I would always go to Sherry's.
Right. Yeah, we had Sherry's here, and so screw Denny's, because yeah. But that's definitely a Pacific Northwest West Coast thing. Is Sherry's stretched from Sacramento to Seattle.
Does Denny's serve alcohol?
They do have a bar. I believe Denny's has bars.
I don't know. I'm asking.
I believe so.
We got one Denny's around here, and it's not very good.
No, it's not. My family always tries to go there, and like, why in the world are we going to Denny's? This is the worst restaurant in the worst city for restaurants.
I love this side of you. I didn't know you had this out for Denny's. It's funny because we had completely opposite perspectives of Denny's. I mean, not that I love Denny's. I don't love Denny's.
Right.
Like
Rett, famous Denny's defender. Denny's enthusiast.
Yeah, if there's one thing that could be said about me, it's that I'm going to go to bat for that Grand Sandwich. No, yeah, I don't know.
So
it's interesting because I just literally assumed chocolate chip pancakes and sandwiches with bacon and eggs,
But see here, also very, very Oregon coded is if I'm going to like the coast or something like that. Hey, do you want to go to Denny's? No, screw it. Pig and pancake is right there.
Yeah, pig and pancake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And pig and pancake is what Denny's dreams of being.
Yeah. Well, there you have it. I mean, yeah. I'm going to war against Denny's now.
Yeah.
I'm going to be a Chili's guy.
Like I said, I like Chili's, and a lot of people are probably like, Applebee's, Chili's, flip a coin. But I'm like, no, I've always had better experiences, better food, better service, better tap menu when I go to a Chili's than going to an Applebee's. Chili's experiments with cocktails. In fact, one of the early videos, like 2018, that I did with Hops and Brews was I reverse engineered a Chili's cocktail in the, what was that? It was the Blue Moon Float, or Blue Moon Milkshake. So I made a Blue Moon Milkshake with John on his channel. That's good, yeah. That's what Chili's served.
Which brings me to another chain question. How do you feel about Red Robin?
I do like Red Robin.
Yeah. Was there a phase where it wasn't very good? Or
yes.
Or did it just kind of like...
There was like that 2005 to 2015 where they were pretty awful. Like soundly pretty awful. Yeah. I had stopped going because I had had terrible service there. The food had gotten really bad. It feels like about the last 10 years, it's gotten a lot better. Food consistency is way up. Portion sizes are up. Prices have stayed low.
I don't think I had gone in like 10 years, and I went to the one in Woodburn, and I was like blown away by how good it was.
Yeah.
And like their tap list was decent. They got Blue Moon milkshakes.
Yeah.
It's like, what else do you need?
Right. Yeah, that they've usually got like a Vortex and a Deschutes and a couple other, local IPAs on tap. And so, not like banger beers, but like solid what I would want with a burger kind of an IPA.
Yeah. Rainier, but that's okay.
Yeah. But you go in there, they've got their tavern burgers for like $10. Like you can get in there with a burger, unlimited fries, and a beer for like $17. In and out at a sit-down restaurant. Tell me anyone else that can do that.
Yeah, it's true.
I go to Burger King and I spend $17.
Oh, easy.
On a way worse burger. And definitely not steak fries. So I really like Red Robin. I like the value proposition. I like their speed. I like their service. I've always had a good experience there. At least last 10 years.
Do you like the vibe in there?
Vibe's a little busy for me, but that's most American burger joint sit-down restaurants is a little bit of a busier vibe, a little bit of a family vibe, and that's totally fine. I've got a very busy family. So, yeah, it works for us.
What about Olive Garden, Jeff? When was the last time you went to the Garden?
Oh, Olive Garden's been a while.
My friend, was having a birthday party and she wanted to do it at Olive Garden, and the announcement was like, was like, hope you're ready to, be here where your family at Olive Garden. It's kind of funny, but I was kind of low key surprised because think about. I don't know about you. Are you the type of guy that's like okay waiting to be seated at a restaurant?
I'm okay. You walk in and they're like, yeah, we'll get you in 10 minutes. And, we're...
10 minutes, is that like your threshold? What if they say 15? What if they say 20?
That depends on who I'm with. That depends on
Your entire family.
my entire family. 10-minute stops.
Yeah.
If you're not ready in 10, my family's a little weird. My family has specific needs. I got 10 minutes before this bomb goes off. So yes.
See, perhaps I don't know like what it is about where we're based, but I feel like there are great restaurants that are unique, that are not chain. I can walk into and I can be seated and I can have a great meal or whatever.
Yeah.
We went into Olive Garden with a reservation.
Yeah.
And we still waited 40 minutes to be seated.
Ooh.
Not only that, Jeff, you're familiar with that Olive Garden.
I know that Olive Garden, yeah.
Okay.
I think that was the last Olive Garden I was at. Yeah.
The entire lobby and outdoor section was packed. There was a line outside. We waited outside in the middle of the winter time for 40 minutes to be seated. Like, how did this place survive the pandemic?
I don't know.
I wanna know.
That's
like,
weird.
And more popular. Oh, and no parking in the parking lot. We had to park.
That tracks. Yeah, you had to park at the vacant Toys R Us.
Yeah, but it's like it doesn't feel like it should be that way anymore. It's 2026.
Do you know what's funny is in that exact region is of where we're talking about. That region has been frozen in time until very recently.
Yeah.
And what I mean is in that like 1.5 block radius of this Olive Garden, there was a Red Lobster. There is still a Sizzler.
Yeah.
It's right there. There's a Toys R Us that still sits vacant.
No, there is something there now.
Is there something there now? Okay.
Yeah, it's like a training center for work, like some trade or something.
Okay.
I think.
But this is across the street from a mall that still operates.
Yeah.
It still has a Burlington coat factory and a sporting goods store.
That's where our town's only Orange Julius was for years.
And a movie theater. This is a mall that is frozen in time and it still operates today.
Yeah.
It is weird. I don't know how it does it.
The Game Crazy's gone though.
The Game Crazy is gone.
It was in that shopping center that's right there.
Yeah. There's a Taco Time right there.
Oh my God, you're right.
There's a Taco Time right there. And an Arby's. Like, everything from, like, 1998 hit its peak. And then the only thing we've lost from that entire group that we just said is the Red Lobster.
There was an FYE store there, too, for a while. It just closed, like, a couple years ago.
Yeah.
I don't know. Is FYE 90s? It's at least early 2000s.
It wasn't FYE then. It was... Oh, God. I'm drawing a blank. Oh, that's good. Oh.
Was it called something else?
Yes.
Oh, well, they used to be like Suncoast, Sam Goody.
Sam Goody.
Yeah.
Yeah, it used to be Sam Goody. Yeah.
Heck yeah, dude.
Last couple of experiences at Olive Garden, not great. Sizzler, surprisingly enough, I've eaten there fairly recently.
Sizzler holds up.
Sizzler holds up. Yeah. I've eaten there within the last couple of years.
Sizzler was always like my little brother. Like, you know, we were pretty poor growing up, and it was like my little brother's standard for like fine dining with Sizzlers.
I was gonna say, I think the reason that Olive Garden still exists right there is my mother-in-law recently asked me if there were any good restaurants in Salem that I would recommend, because my father-in-law's birthday was coming up, and where could we go and get like a good steak and things like that. And I'm like, oh, there's wonderful places downtown. There's this local steakhouse. There's this Italian place that's fantastic. There's even La Margaritas if you want to go get like the Mexican flair on.
Steak, you go to Cozy Taberna.
You go to Cozy. Yeah, exactly. Like, I'm naming off all these places, and she goes, I was thinking about just taking him to Olive Garden because, you know, get a really good meal there. And I'm like, why in the hell would you stop 3 minutes before 17 great restaurants that are not chained, that are sit down, that are professional, great restaurants, and go to Olive Garden.
Yeah.
That's why Olive Garden is still around. Is because people still associate them with fantastic fine dining.
Yeah, because it is, and that's kind of what I was saying before about like we're lucky on the West Coast to be able to like dunk on the chains.
Yeah.
Because we do have like food culture and we're close to like some food, kind of meccas like Portland and things like that.
Yep.
But there are places in the world where like the chain is kind of like the only option you get.
Yep.
And like, they serve a purpose. I had a great time when we went to Olive Garden. It was really fun, even though we had to wait. And that's the only bad thing I can say about it, is that we had to wait. The rest was great. The wine was good. The pasta was good. The salad was good.
Yep.
The service was good. It was affordable. Boom. What else do you need?
Yeah.
That type of experience is like, sometimes it's difficult to get everywhere. So
yeah.
And Doomer says they treat you like family. So,
when you're here, you're like Vin Diesel.
Yeah. I'm getting text messages from people watching upstairs saying, no, before FYE, it was warehouse music.
It was also Sam Goody. The local one that we had here in Salem was Sam Goody. The one in Valley River in Eugene was Warehouse.
Yeah, I was gonna say maybe because I remember like Sam Goody being at the downtown mall.
Might have been at Salem Center. Yeah,
and then that shopping center one could have been the Warehouse, because I do remember a Warehouse music in Salem somewhere, but I don't quite remember where. Yeah, personally, I don't remember where. Yeah, man. Well, this has been a unique show. We got 102 people watching about our hot
chain restaurant takes.
So thanks for watching.
Yeah. This has been fun. Cosworth for $2 says the PNW needs supper clubs. Look up supper clubs. Do I
want to look up supper clubs? Anytime somebody tells you to do that, it's dangerous.
There is a Salem supper club. I'm just going to throw this up here.
I kind of like this. Yeah, this looks cool.
Come over, I'll cook you dinner. I cook, you come eat.
That sounds a little risky.
Yeah.
That sounds like, you ever see the movie Tusk? It's like, I just need you to come over, I'll cook, but you got to put on this walrus costume for a few hours every day, and we'll call it good, all right?
Cuckoo. Yeah. Supper clubs sound fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Wikipedia page makes it sound cool, so.
Yeah.
See, yeah. Novella says they're a Wisconsin thing, and Wikipedia agrees. They're all concentrated in Wisconsin.
Okay.
Apparently, so.
Is that just what the Wine Drinkers Club does at lunchtime? Or the Cognac Drinkers Club of Wisconsin?
Right. Do they drink cognac in Wisconsin? I thought it was all light beer and bottom shelf whiskey and vodka.
No, hold on. Korbel, which is one of the standard cognacs that you can buy. It's like one of the...
Oh, gotcha.
You go buy it for like $12 to $20, depending on what liquor store you go into. It's made in California. Wisconsin constitutes 50 to 60% of all global sales of Korbel brandy. 60% of Korbel goes to Wisconsin. And so I think what happens is it's not the culture in Wisconsin, it's probably the supper club. And the way it works is you wake up in the morning and you go to your Wisconsin old-fashioned meeting, which in Wisconsin, the old-fashioned is the breakfast cocktail. And it's the Wisconsin old-fashioned, and it has, it was maple syrup. So it's an old fashioned with maple syrup. Or they have this weird abomination of a Bloody Mary. You go and have lunch on your own, but then you all meet for supper. And you do supper club. And then in the evening, it's the Corbel Club. I think it's just the same group of like 3,000 people that are just rotating through this alcoholic cycle of death.
Great. Strictly Wisconsin. We got to thank them. Oh.
A Wisconsin Old Fashioned. I just proved my own theory. A Wisconsin Old Fashioned is an iconic supper club cocktail.
Nice. Epic.
Made by muddling sugar, bitters, orange, maraschino cherries, topped with brandy, usually Corbel, and lemon lime soda.
Whoa, bro. AI overview, though?
I did use the AI overview. I did. But it's amazing that it went straight to supper club.
Let's see what happens when I search it.
Michael sends over message. Thank you, Michael. Canvas app hacked. Yes. Oh yeah, the Canvas hack. I completely forgot about that this last week. Thank you for Yeah, I'd forgotten about that. If anyone's familiar with Canvas, used by a huge number of universities and even a large number of K-12s. In fact, I know some of my old clients use Canvas now for their online learning systems. Canvas was apparently taken over not once, but twice. Once about 3 months ago, and then again recently. They're basically been crypto locked. And was it yesterday was the deadline to pay the ransom?
And did they?
Let me see. 3.65 terabytes of data was supposedly breached and put up for ransom.
First headline I found says that they paid the ransom.
Did they? Here's the Reddit post. All right. K-12 sysadmin, Canvas paid the ransom. We know that for many customers, and this is TJ Tech 40 to our infrastructure community, we know that many of our customers' concerns about the potential publication of data related to this incident remain top of mind. We want to acknowledge those concerns directly. We understand how unsettling situations like this can be. Let's get on with the PR speak. Blah, 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 blah. We are sharing this update in the continued interest of transparency that our customers know. We have addressed this element to the of the incident directly. The agreement covered all of our customers, and there is no need for individual customers to attempt to engage with the unauthorized actor. So yes, according to Steve Daly, the CEO of Instructure, which is the parent company of Canvas, Canvas paid the ransom yesterday. Or I guess Monday, the day before the deadline, because yesterday was the 0 day of the Canvas data going live. Thank you for reminding me. I hadn't. I saw the hack last week and then was reading about it this weekend, but then it slipped my mind. So cool.
Yeah. Well, there you go. I guess you can just hack anything and get a ransom paid to you. So
yeah, apparently.
Get out there, folks. money to be made.
Yeah. I'm glad that the data is not going to be accessible, although. Can you trust a threat actor? That's the ultimate. Is 12 months from now they're going to go, by the way, we still have 3.5 terabytes of data. You want to pay us another $40 million? Like, we won't publish it for another 12 months if you just want to write this off as a line item.
Well, now keeping your data safe is a subscription service that we offer.
Yeah. Novella says they needed a Jeff with a TrueNAS server. Unfortunately, this was not an issue of simply a ransomware attack. This was a ransomware exfiltration, where the hacker group collected 3.65 terabytes of data already, and then encrypted the data that was left on the servers. So it was a double whammy. This is one of the things that ransomware attacks migrated into in the 5 or 6 years recently. Is not only are they encrypting your data, they're exfiltrating an unencrypted copy of your data, so they can then sell that data. It's a double whammy.
Yeah.
The old ransomware attack was, let's encrypt your servers, and if you don't have a good backup, you have to pay us to get your data back. Or you're going to start from zero, but at least you don't have to pay anyone, at least no data left your premises. The more modern ransomware attacks have been exfiltration of that data. And so, yeah, a little bit more serious then. Yeah. Even when I was dealing with it, we had to go through forensic services to make sure that no data had left premises. So, yeah.
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 Sweet deal.
All right. Well, that's a show. My voice is still here.
Yeah, you made it. It sounds good. It sounds a lot better than it did at the beginning.
It doesn't feel right.
I bet.
Yeah. It's still producing sound, but it's not the right sound, and it doesn't feel right producing. Like, the vibrations are different. I feel swollen right here. Like, it hurts. It's not like in the center of my throat. It's like on the sides. The muscles just hurt.
You just need a nice glass of like room temperature whiskey. Loosen that up. Let it just flow, trickle down.
Yep.
And you'll be better in the morning.
You know what? I have some Corbel brandy upstairs. I'm going to go have some brandy.
See? Perfect.
Yeah.
That's what it was made for.
That sounds right. That sounds right. After tonight's conversation, I'm going to join the supper club and have some brandy as a nightcap.
Let's go. We're bringing it back to the P&W.
You know what? We own brandy now. That's our thing now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, Wisconsin.
Yeah. It's not even made in Wisconsin. It's made closer to Oregon than it is Wisconsin. We're taking this.
Sweet deal. Well, fun show.
Yeah. Thank you, Rett, as always. Thank you to Twingate for sponsoring today's episode. Link down in the video description. Ditch your VPN. See what they can do for you. Start for free. I use the free plan. It's freaking great. In fact, we have an integration with them later in the month. I'm actually genuinely excited for the integration because something happened personally on an interaction that Twingate was like the perfect solution. And so I went, go download the client. Let me provision you a user real quick. Boom, you're on my network. Go. Like 4 minutes. Nice. And I got someone access to a server. It was fantastic. So can't say enough good things.
Twingate. Let's go.
Yeah. Thank you all so much for watching. Like the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Follow us on the social medias. I am at Craft Computing. He is at Rett is Awesome. Or what else you got to plug?
Same stuff as usual. I got my Dungeons and Dragons podcast, which is actually a Daggerheart podcast, right? dndpodcast.org. We're called The Inn at the End. I also do like a monthly like newsletter zine thing now with this writers collective. We're called Scribe and Sigil. You can Google us, or you can go to scribeandsigil.com with hyphens between the words, and you can read my monthly newsletter about writing fiction and get some heavy metal recommendations. The zine's called Heavy Metal Daydreams. And otherwise, follow my updates at rettisawesome.com and stuff.
There you go.
Yeah.
Thank you all so much for watching. Join the Discord, get part of the after party. I'll probably be on there. I don't know how much I'll be talking because I'm about done. But thank you all so much for watching. And as always, we'll see you next week.